Light 2. A lot of news has been coming out for this game, and surprisingly enough, like honestly, I really like the first game. However, give or take with what a few of the news articles that I got like have to say about it. Specifically, people were asking about the zombies, which starting this off, of course, exclusive Dying Light 2 new zombie types explained with the art concept, which technically the most that I kind of understand about it is like that they have runners, people who were freshly bitten, and then but like the runners stay out of the sunlight because if they go into the sunlight, then they decay and get slow. But some of the other ones, like they seem to, but like these runners are affected to the UV light and well, UV light and the sunlight, sort of like how the super zombies were like in the first game, which again doesn't really seem too bad. It's a pretty cool concept, but you know, I don't look at it as if it's like, well, yeah, man, like it's like a brand new zombie like I kind of like had to sort of like figure out, which technically I don't think that there's been like a brand new zombie type since, you know, or at least a zombie type that people universally like compared to like what they did for Day of the Dead, where like that they made the zombies run. Like, so that's kind of the thing. Other than that though, I do like the idea and the concept of it. Moving on to our next one though, is that the Techland confirms that the grappling hook is back for Dying Light 2, which technically reading the article, the reason why, oh, Jesus, too much so you don't see me, but there we go. There we go. Sorry about that, but apparently Techland has went on to say that the grappling hook is going to make its way back into the game, which interestingly enough, the reason why the grappling hook was there in the grappling hook was there in the first game, it was because of the fact of that a bug was there to where that one would teleport around the area, so they just attached the grappling hook to it so that they could use the teleport function without you actually like just, I guess basically blink jumping like how you do in Dishonored. So they're like, okay, we're gonna like attach an item to it. However, they kind of went on to say that they fixed the grappling hook because again in the original they said that it broke the game because it allowed you to use it on basically any surface. You know, such as you jump from a building, you aim at the ground, you throw the grappling hook at the ground, and then you could like essentially swip around like Spider-Man and not hurt yourself, which to a certain extent I actually really liked. But I'm assuming that since that it is coming back, it's now gonna act like a very traditional, like it's gonna act like a very traditional grappling hook now, to where that you can only get it for legends and whatnot. They also said that they kind of had to take it away because it kind of took away most of the free running aspects of the game, which technically it didn't, because again, like certain areas you still couldn't actually like use the grappling hook on, and even though you could necessarily use it to get to a lot of areas like without actually climbing on things, like most of the real like most of the hidden areas you couldn't use a grappling hook to get to them, or most of the safe houses and whatnot, because you had to parkour, or at the very least use use every free running trick in the book like just to get there, you know. So you needed to do it which like now that I think about it, like, and I'd still like the original grappling hook, like for how it used to be, because their whole thing is, well, now people, they're not going to use any of the free running tricks if they have the grappling hook. Honestly, to be fair, it's like I kind of wanted a better UI, better than what, because the UI kind of made it feel a bit like what was it, Dead Island, which again, it's nice, but I can't categorize anything, so that was kind of a problem for me. But other than that, like the grappling hook itself was amazing. I really hope that they didn't change it too much, but you know, remember, you can't use it to get everywhere in the game, so at least that was that. And finally, this one kind of, this one just seems like it's a no-brainer to me, but basically it's Dying Light 2 is the first game of its type Techland reveals, and it plans for future. It plans for the future of open world gaming. And to kind of break all of this down, which is basically they're making a dream reality. Essentially, when they were talking about this, like in the demo, when they were like, "Hey guys, like when you take over an area, you can give it to the bad guys, and then crime and whatnot will be rampant." Or most likely, you could give it, but like giving it to them with way more crime, you get higher end weapons faster. You get higher end, I want to say like, you get better ammo and so on and so forth. But then if you, but like you gotta pay for water, even though you get some money from it, you know, like they'll give you a little bit of money from it. Oh, like cemetery cats following my mouse. But or better yet, if you give it to the good guys, then it's a bustling, free like area where there are no zombies and everybody else is like and everything else is okay. It's like, all right, like I like where they're going with it, but at the same time though, I look at it and I'm like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not something that I haven't seen before, because plenty of games have actually done that in the past, to where that, like, whether you're shifting space or basically you're shifting like the world itself, then yeah, like one thing would be different from another. Like I kind of can see that already, especially since that they're trying to say we believe that it will make players want to play the game again, and again, or try to play with other players in co-op to see their worlds. Which again, to a certain extent, I kind of agree with that, because again, like technically the only thing that I can actually kind of pair with this, it might be co-op, different worlds and different things in which that people actually kind of and the different choices that they've made. You know, I mean, like I've seen the same thing when I play Saints Row and whatnot, where like you either get the Apocalypse or basically get Killbane's mask. You know, that kind of thing. You know, or better yet, like you either decide to kill somebody or you side with them. I mean, again, the only good thing that I can say about this though is that it's actually trying to take it back to a moment where like that those choices actually mattered, because nowadays like they're just there for basically like they're basically there for lip service. You know, you have like they're basically like so and so. Well, this is like a Telltale problem, but it's like so and so will remember this. Like that company may rest in peace, but still, they were like they did have a big problem with that, where it was like, okay, so and so will remember this, and then they kill off the character. The first time it was shocking. After like the third time of it, okay, well now I know that my choices like that they don't matter. So what's the point? You know. But going on to the unlikely success of Dying Light. Okay. Honestly, I don't really know too much to say about this, other than we haven't been talking to the media. We have been talking directly to the players, so maybe that's why it has been such a success. No. The truth is, we have this huge community now. If you compare it to the original title when it released 3 years ago, to how it looks and plays a day, it's almost like it's a completely different game. Yeah. Growing a community, expanding the scope of play, expanding the game world to 400%. All that is wonderful stuff. Only thing I can say about this, because again, well, to a certain extent, I can say that this is actually, like, they're actually doing the really good thing of talking to fans and tweaking the game for what fans want, because that's how Half-Life 2 was made. Like, Half-Life and Half-Life 2 were actually made based, I mean, like, and it was catered to fans of a genre who basically told them, okay, I want this, it would be cool if this was in there, if that was in there, and then basically it grew into a game that stood the test of time. Hopefully Dying Light 2 does the same, but again, most of what it's doing, it's not really something that's telling me, hey man, like, this game is completely different from basically any other game that I've played so far. Or better yet, open world games. Because again, Saints Row did the same thing. Yeah, didn't do it as well, but it most definitely did it. You know, but then again, on the grander scale of the world actually changing and the world changing and how things play out, is doing that a little bit better. Hopefully a lot of games like that. I mean, like, honestly, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but because I actually like it when they go above and beyond for that, you know. But the most I can say is check out Dying Light 2 when that game comes out, and hopefully Dead Island 2 finally gets made. Because that game's been put on hiatus for a little bit too long. But I'll catch you guys on the next John Graves show. Keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.